Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about the very fun, interesting topic of keyword density. Yeah, I'm kidding, guys. It's not massively interesting or really fascinating at all, unless you're a total computer nerd, which I am, by the way. But it is very, very important for SEO, but not in a way that many beginners, at least, think. So there's no exact formula for how many times or what percentage of times to include the keyword on your website. There's no formula where you say, like, if you include the keyword 7% of the time, then you're going to rank every single time, number one, 100%. It just doesn't happen that way. But what is important is it's extremely important that you don't over-optimize your site. Extremely important, guys. And a lot of people I see are still doing this. Even fairly experienced SEOs, they have a decent sized PBN, they're going for some medium competition keywords, but they're really over optimizing their sites, and it's a very basic fundamental SEO mistake. So what that means is don't deliberately use the keyword in your articles, especially repeatedly. So you can deliberately use it in like the H1 tag, the title tag and stuff, but don't repeatedly use it because you're just going to over-optimize your site. I'll give you a little more details on that in a moment. The places I do recommend having it are in your title tag and in your H1 tag once. Not repeating it over and over again, once in your title tag, once in your H1 tag, and maybe once again in the first paragraph of your article. But that is about it. That's really about it. You don't really want to have too many references in there. Aside from that, you want to use synonyms. You want to use variations of the main keyword, and you just want to mix it up and not deliberately trying to insert it there. So a synonym is basically just a variation, a way of saying the same thing with a different word. For example, really difficult to come up with an example on my head, but like photograph and picture can kind of mean the same thing, not necessarily just coming off the top of my head. Or if you're saying plumbers, you could also say plumber, plumb in, and stuff like that. It's the same thing, it's just like a different way of saying it. There's two very, very bad examples, but it's basically two words which mean the exact same thing. So automobile and car, stuff like that. Like you can generally find this by doing Google searches in your niche and seeing what sort of words come up, highlighted like bold when you're doing specific searches. I'll do some more video like training on that later. But basically just make sure that you're not over optimizing, guys. And remember, you can easily be targeting 50 plus, 100 plus keywords on a single page. You don't need to just focus on one keyword. You don't need to deliberately insert this one keyword like 50 times in an article, which I've seen many people do. You need to make sure that you're not over optimizing it, and you can do that by not deliberately inserting too much and focus on numerous keywords, so you're not just focused on just this one main one. And another thing you want to watch out for is single words. So single word keywords. What I mean here is that if you're trying to rank for the keyword like plumber London or plumbers London, whatever, that sort of thing, and if you repeatedly use the word plumber, you can over-optimize your content just for using that word. So you don't have to put plumbers London or plumber London over and over again. You just have to put the word plumber over and over again, and you're over-optimized. It's something that you really need to watch out for. Even if you're trying to write naturally, you can over-optimize your website here. So here's the rules that I like to adhere to when writing content to make sure that I'm just not over-optimizing them. The first thing I like to do is use a keyword density checker tool. So you can do this manually if you like, but it's just so easy to use a tool to really check this for you instantly. So for single word keyword tools, by the way guys, the tool is going to be linked below. It's in the video here, but I'll link below this video so you can get it. But for single word keywords, you want to have a ratio, a keyword density, so to say, of 1 to 2%. What that means is that if it's one word, like plumber, as part of the keywords that you're trying to rank for, like plumber, if you're going to rank for like plumber London, if you have the word plumber in there, you want 1 to 2% of your content to be the word plumber, no more than that. If you have like 5%, you're probably over-optimized. And once again, if you use this tool here, keyword density checker tool, then it's going to automatically calculate that for you and spit back and give you the results. So you want to aim between 1 and 2% for single words. Now there is exceptions here, guys. If there is just very few synonyms or variations of that keyword available, then you can stretch this up to about 2 to 3% if you really need to. But that's really stretching it, you're really pushing it. I recommend aiming between 1 and 2%, and I recommend doing some research to see if there are any synonyms. But generally between 2 or 3% can be okay if there's not many synonyms available. In certain niches, it's just no different way of saying it. You're going to have to know your industry to really know what it's like. Now, if you're doing two-word keywords, what it means if you rank it for Plumber London, then the 2-word keyword would be Plumber London. Then you want to aim between a 0.7 to 1% ratio, keyword density, I keep saying ratio for some reason, keyword density for those 2 words. So again, the tool automatically spits this out for you, automatically tells you what it is, and you want to look at it and see, like, for that keyword Plumber London, is it between 0.7 or 1%? If it's higher than that, then you want to bring it down a little bit because over optimized. Basically, guys, just use your common sense. Like, if there's 20 references of your keyword in the article, it's probably over optimized. It's pretty common sense there. And you can also, guys, while you're doing this, if you add more content to it, then it dilutes the density. If you have a longer article, then presumably you don't repeat the words over and over again within a new bit, then it's going to dilute the density of the article. So just adding more content is going to dilute that there, which is another reason why longer form content is better. And final one, guys, final example here, if you have a 3-word keyword. So best plumber London, because I'm obsessed with plumbers in London in a minute. Best plumber London, then you want to use that between 0.5 and 0.7% at a time in your keywords, or emergency plumber London, which would be a better example. You want to include between 0.5 and 0.7% of the content, like the density. So 0.5% of your content should be that 3-word keyword, and no more than 0.7%. Basically, you don't need to increase it if it's below 0.5, it's not really a big deal, but you do need to decrease it if it's above 0.7%. You don't want your content over optimized because it's going to seem to Google unnatural, like you're deliberately trying to stuff that keyword in there. So make sure you target a lot of keywords on your pages. We'll cover how to do that. Actually, I think we already have covered how to do that in the module, so watch that video again. Focus on targeting a lot of keywords. Make sure you're deliberately diluting it. You're deliberately not over-optimizing it if it's over these guidelines here that I've given you. This isn't exact, but it's what I really try to stick to. That's what my systems definitely for my team stick to with ranking out sites. So I hope this video helps, and I'll see you guys in the next video.